My fish fam, it's Nikachu, Merfolk Master. We're gonna play some Modern Merfolk today. Modern Merfolk is... Well, I hope it's back. We have more people making victories. We have Tenebrae here, who ended up playing in a regional destination qualifier in Germany, made the quarterfinals, and therefore, I guess, qualified for the next big event. So I'm not sure what else to change since I've last played it. I'm sure as more people play the deck, maybe they can also help refine it to whatever it needs to be. But so far, I've no interest in changing very much. In theory, you could go down to Merfolk and add like a Tishana's Tidebinder for the appropriate matchups. I imagine if there's like a lot of Amulet in your meta, maybe a little bit more control, the flash speed creature, while also being able to snipe off like fetch lands and stuff like that, is has more utility than the Merfolk. But I like my Regery. I like how the deck performs in the grand scheme of things. So with that, let's get into our league. We lost the die roll. We're on a draw, and actually we have a pretty nice hand on the draw. We're going to keep it. We have turn 1 Vial, and we do have more mana sources for the future. We don't even have to play them, though, because we do have Stern Scolding and Dismember, which can be played off of our 1 Gloom Lake Verge. We're up against what appears to be Zoo. So long as we are not hit with a turn 2 with Scion of Draco, I think we're going to be okay. I think we'll be fine. If it is Scion of Draco, it's gonna be a little bit more it's gonna be a little complicated. It's gonna be a little complicated. Like, so we can deal with Territorial Kavu. Uh-oh. I don't like the sign of that white mana. White mana looks like Draco. Yeah, exactly. The thing is, there's nothing in the deck that uses white mana. Now, it's not completely hopeless yet, but it's not great. We do have the Sink into Stupor, fortunately, to bounce the Leyline, and then we can kill the Scion. But we have some work to do. Let's just put it that way. We got some work to do. I'm not going to play Cavern. We'll just play Glasspool Mimic. Tapped, or... Yeah, I need to guarantee that we bounce this stupid Leyline next turn, so we're just going to play this and pass. Our opponent will have a few good turns up their sleeve. With the Leyline Sign combo, it's going to get First Strike. I'm not really concerned all that much about the lifelink. I am more concerned about the Hexproof, though, of course. Hexproof, bad. Hexproof, annoying. If they miss a land drop, that's going to be good for us. They don't. I sort of want to, by that next turn, like bounce Leyline, use Flood Pits to tap this thing down. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That resolves. Unfortunately. That also has Hexproof. God damn it. Everything has Hexproof here. Why does everything have to have hexproof? Why did that have to come so late? Okay, Cavern Souls, Merfolk. So we have to bounce this. What do you got? You can obviously recast it. Oh yeah, you definitely can recast it with Goblin Shaman, because the well, there's a world where we sink this. We could tap this thing down with the Flood Pits Drowner, and then hope the opponent doesn't have another land. But like, the odds of that, I think, are very poor, very, very poor. So I guess we're going to just... Well, okay, if I'm not playing Sink this turn... No, sorry, I am playing Sink this turn. I have to just do it at the end of my opponent's turn. Okay, we're just gonna pass. And probably take another 6 damage. I do not think it's the end of the world yet, but it's not great. It's not great. They had like a nut draw on the play. They got rid of the Stubborn Denial. That's great. Unless they have another Stubborn Denial, then that sucks. But I'm gonna hope that's not the case. Okay, they make a treasure token. We get eaten for 6. Again, I can't play Sink first because otherwise our opponent will just obliterate us later anyway. Okay, so Territorial Kavu gets cast. It's fine. Now let's start doing things. I'm gonna cast this over here. Let's get rid of this ley line. And then let's try to start picking apart our opponent's board. What are we going to do first? Fable's going to be annoying. I mean, I have to get rid of both Scion and Territorial. Guess we go Flood Pits, tap down Territorial Kavu. I think I'll dismember the Scion. Leave the Vial on too. That's a nice draw, actually. So I can attack for a good chunk. Or do I wait? Maybe I wait. I can play Mind Spring and then have up Stern Scolding. I mean, Stern Scolding doesn't hit a whole lot of cards in this deck, to be honest. I think it's just it's Ragavan and situationally this card, but it's still a 5/5. What else does Stern Scolding hit? I think it's just Ragavan for the most part. I don't think I gain anything, so I can. Also, I don't think I care about this card at this point. I think we're in race mode. I think we're in race mode. But they can have so much removal. They can have removal here. They didn't do anything with their mana. I mean, I'm expecting Leyline Binding. I'm expecting. What else could they have here? It's like a combination of Leyline Binding and Lightning Bolt. Oh, and if they have Lightning Bolt, then I'm very close to dead. Oh no, they could have Tribal Flames. I'm very close to dead. So if I dismember, I should really pay the black mana. But if I pay the black mana, then I can't suck away the Territorial Kavu, and I probably have to block this thing. Ugh, so many things to do. So little mana. So little mana. Okay, okay, take it back. We're gonna play a little greedy. How greedy are we gonna play? Undo, pay a black here. Undo. Okay, I'll add the colorless. Now I add. Why? Oh, I don't have blue in play. That's a problem. Oh, it's a good thing I did this online. Could end up cheating in actual paper magic. Okay, so I have to pay for life. That's fine. Okay, let's go. Let's do something. I mean, I have to kill the Scion. That's not it's not an option. I don't have an option to do something else. Now the question is, do I want to suck away this card or start dealing damage? And I think I want to start dealing damage, and maybe we suck away the card at the same time. Really? That is not the target, in my opinion. So, like, this is just free to get rid of. Like, I'm losing the card anyway. That worked out great. That's also one less lightning bolt to our face. We might be dead here, though. I'm not going to block the Goblin Shaman, so Fable will flip. Card in the graveyard or card on top? Oh, God. Can they... Is this white? So they can... so they can get Flage. I think we're Tostitos this game. We put up a valiant effort. We put up a great effort, but it wasn't enough. It was not enough. Okay, I am super cooked. Not even gonna look. Not even gonna look. I guess the only thing that could help is a Flood Pits Drowner. No. Not even close. Okay, what are we gonna do in the sideboard here? We've got, in my opinion, some good cards. I don't mind the strategy. Yeah, we have Consign to Memory for things like Flage, Leyline Binding, and also Sign of Draco. We also have, we're going to bring in some Harbinger of the Seas to counteract the Leyline of the Guild Pact. We're also going to bring in some Force Negations for some sweepers they're going to bring in from the sideboard. Not to mention, I mean, you can still also hit a Leyline Binding, Tribal Flames, occasionally hit like a piece of removal with the Force Negation. And we're going to get rid of the Mistcallers because it's useless, even though it didn't come up that game. And we're going to get rid of the Stern Scoldings because, like I said, it basically only hits Ragavan. And we'll submit that deck. This hand's a smidge clunky, but we do have... I do like Flood Pits, and I do like Silvergill Adept. It's clunky because I don't like pitching on the play with Force Negation if I don't have to. We'll play Cavern of Souls first, I guess. Merfolk. Aether Violent pass. No Leyline turn 1. Nothing. Arid Mesa pass. We'll just play Silvergill Adept. And I'm actually going to show them the Mindspring Merfolk because that's definitely what we're going to play with Aether Vial, so I don't think it changes much holding it back. I don't want to show them Flood Pits Drowner. If there's between two cards to show or not show, I'd rather show them this Mindspring Merfolk, which is going to be which is definitely going to come into play next turn than to not. Do we have Scion? We have Scion mana. Leyline Binding. What, to get my Vial? I think that's fine. I actually don't care. Because our entire hand can operate at flash speed. And after if they take my Vial, I'm just going to put Mindspring Merfolk in play anyway. I guess they're really threatened by it. Or maybe they think I don't have enough blue sources because I have a bunch of brown mana in play. It's possible. It's also possible. But now we're going to have blue mana up. Ooh, and we have a Master of the Pearl Trident. So we'll attack for 3. Attempt to attack for 3. Aww, I like this card. Okay, it's dead. And I'll just pass. And we'll play Flood Pits almost regardless of what they do. I suspect this is going to be a Flage. That's fine. We can consign it. And then hopefully hoof our opponent for a lot of damage. I guess ideally I'm looking for a blue card so that we can have a blue card for Force of Negation to give us some protection. Ooh, Silvergill Adept. That is a blue card for protection. Awkward decision here. We could play Lord, attack for 6. It's a lot of damage. And then we are attacking for lethal, but I have a feeling we can't get through no matter what, so we're going to cast this first. Do I hold up the Mutavault or not? If I draw a land, I want to attack with Mutavault, but if I tap this for Mutavault and I draw a blue source, I might want to play Master of the Pearl Trident. How do I want to do this? If I draw a random land, I'll want to attack with Mutavault, attack for 6. If I don't draw a random land, doesn't change much unless it's specifically a blue card, like Consign to Memory. On average, I think there are more lands that we draw that we can attack with than a random other card. Okay, we got a. I actually like drawing that sink. In fact, I'm going to keep it in the hand just to play it with our. Sorry, play it off of Force of Negation if we get the option to. And if not, it's okay. We can shock. We can bolt ourselves and play Master of the Pearl Trident and attack for 12. So I believe the sweeper that they're going to bring in is Pyroclasm. So if they go Pyroclasm here, we can force it. Their creatures get around Pyroclasm because their creatures are big creatures. Ooh, do you want to take that 2 damage? I showed you Master of the Pearl Trident, which is awkward, so they know I have this card. What is this? Another Leyline Binding? What does that do? It does nothing. Okay, you got it. I basically have lethal on board. Do you have Solitude, maybe? Is that it? If there's somehow Solitude in that deck, then I'll attack for 6. Yeah, it's like a weird spot because, like I revealed the Master of the Pearl Trident off the Silvergill Adept, so they know I have a Lord. But I guess their hand was just nothing. They had just a bunch of nothing in their hand, so they had no other option. And just hope I don't play my Master of the Pearl Trident, I guess. Okay, let's run it back. This hand is so similar to the hand in game 1. I'm gonna keep it. No Leyline, that's good. Gloomlake Verge. I love Gloomlake Verge. I love a world where Blood Moon isn't popular. And people have found the love of the seas with Harbinger of the Seas. No turn 2 Sign of Draco. Good for us. I wonder if they're wondering on Leyline Binding. Okay, so I have a bit of a decision here with Glasspool Mimic. And this decision is this. If I play Glasspool Mimic now, then I'll have 3 mana by next turn to hard cast Force of Negation, to hard cast Tishana's Tidebinder. On the other hand, Glasspool Mimic is just another card, so when we get Vial to 3, we can start copying Silvergill Adepts and Tishana's Tidebinders. But on a balance of things to do, I think guaranteeing the 3 mana by the 3rd turn is more important than everything else, so I'm going to put this in play. And we'll guarantee our 3rd land drop, so we're a little less clunky. Just a little less clunky. So our opponent is playing pretty slowly. Okay, I'm gonna counter that. I think our Ether Vial in this game is gonna be more important because our curve is just so damn high. We have a very high curve. So I'm assuming if this is going to be Flage or Fable the Mirror Breaker, just based on how slowly they're playing their hand out. Or they have a lot of removal in hand, like a lot of removal. Okay, so it was Fable, and I think the Fable has so much value that I'm willing to 2-for-1 myself here. I'm not thrilled about that. I don't like doing that, but we gotta do what we gotta do. I don't want to deal with the stupid everything. The 2/2 Goblin, then they draw into better cards, and then I have to deal with the stupid Shaman at the end of all of that. I think we can activate this first to see if we draw like a land that, like, I don't want to play the Otawara for the turn as my land drop. We got a Silvergill Adept. Well, okay, I'm gonna play it as my land drop now and pass. The Scion, sure. So we'll just Flood Pits that. I think I'm going to tick the Vial to 3 because I think I want to get rid of this stupid thing. Oh. Okay, I'm tapped out. What are they going to go for? The Vial or the... They're going for the Vial. Which I think it's quite fine. I think that's a respectable thing to do. But the Scion is a bit vulnerable now. What to do here? I'm definitely going to play an Ether Vial again. Okay, do you want to play around Pyroclasm? When I'm gonna eat up this Scion and not commit too many things to the board. Like one idea was to play Ether Vial then Silvergill Adapt, but if I do that, then I'm like super vulnerable to a Pyroclasm. I'll just get completely wiped out. And for the most part, we don't have a Lord yet, so or a piece of removal for this Scion. So we might as well get rid of it. It's back. Ooh, a dashed Ragavan. Okay. Don't steal my good cards. It's a Mindspring Merfolk. I said don't steal my good cards. That was a good one. I could play that with my Vial on 1. Plus it would draw me cards. Ugh, that's so rude. This is actually one of the main ways I lose to Ragavan, is just them finding my own Merfolk to play off of it. Anyway, I can't even attack into this thing now. Not yet at least. What I really need now is my Otawara so I can bounce the Mindspring back into my hand. I'm just not gonna do anything. Just not gonna do anything. We'll just pass with this Tishana's Tidebinder. And we'll slowly deploy the Silvergill Adept with the Ether Vial. If our opponent's not in a rush, I'm not in a rush. Another Leyline Binding. You want my Silvergill Adept this time. I think I should actually Tishana's Tidebinder this. Like, what do I have this card in my deck for? This is not what I really want to use my Tishana's Tidebinder. Whoa! Okay there. Silvergill Adept's gone. Alright, the guy take 1 damage. I'm behind. But I do have Silvergill Adept. Thank God we play with this card in 2025. Get us out of this mess. Oh my God. The problem is they can draw cards with Mindspring Merfolk. Okay, let's draw a card off Silvergill Adept. Drew a Lord. Okay, fortunately they cannot actually use Leyline here. So if they have a 4th Leyline Binding, it doesn't do anything. And now they don't have red mana for Ragavan. They'll have the blue mana for the Mindspring Merfolk, though. So they need quite a few lands in play to... Quite a few more lands to get in play to play a 4th Leyline Binding. Or I guess they could top deck... I guess they could draw their 1 red source. That also works. Ugh, look at that. Using my card against me. So brutal. Draw 2 cards. It's nice, isn't it? Mindspring returns. The actual card Mindspring returns in 2025. When did this come out? Was it 2025 or 2024? I don't remember anymore. Cavern of Souls is dead useless. I'll just play a Lord. Or I guess I should have Vialed it in. Maybe it's not that big of a difference. The onus is on our opponent to find something. Harbinger was pretty good there. Well, okay, so they have enough mana now for the 4th Leyline Binding, but they didn't have it, and we won the match. Honestly, I think our opponent was like a little greedy with all these Leyline Bindings. Like, for example, if you don't go for my Aether Vial and you just save them for creatures, like, I think that's a better use of them. I didn't mind that one against the Silver Gill Adept, I guess, if to, in theory, dash in a Ragavan and get in damage and get more treasures. So, you know, that one was reasonable. It's hard to tell, but in this game, probably one less Leyline Binding against well, what? I did use a Consign to Memory. All right, fair enough. I had to burn a Consign to Memory. My hand was actually pretty clunky with all of my 3 drops. Okay, that was round 1. Let's move on to round 2. Round 2, we won the die roll. We have a pretty good hand on the play we're going to keep. Pretty good. All depends on what our opponent is on. And this is going to be a little damaging, but I'm going to play the island first. This works for 2 reasons. First, like I could either put Sink into Stupor into play tapped or play this island. I choose to play the island because if I draw more lands, we can keep the Sink into Stupor in our hand. But I'm also willing to just take more damage just to get rid of like a creature on turn 1. Prone goes Misty Rainforest Pass. I don't remember the deck. Every single time I see Misty Rainforest in 2025, I'm like, what is this? I don't know what this is. I keep forgetting. I guess it could be Murktide or something. I have no lands, so I really want to at least tap out for 1 turn. I'll show them Hexcatcher, because I'll probably pass with mana up and put a Hexcatcher in play. If I'm gonna play this, like, let's say I showed Mass of the Pearl Trident, and the next turn I passed with 2 mana up, they'll know I have a Hexcatcher because I didn't play my Lord, or I have some sort of interaction. So I might as well just show them the interaction. I have a Silver Gill Adept. We're loaded on Silver Gill Adepts. It would be really nice to get the well. Okay, this is the type of hand now. Like, we need to curve. We need to curve out, because if we don't curve out, the hand's going to really suck because we're just clogged with 2 drops. It's one of those types of hands. But it is convenient that we can play at flash speed with the 2 Hex Catchers while holding up the Dismember. Is our opponent going to reveal what they are? Ooh, it's a forest deck. Was it Neoform? If it was Neoform, I would not have played Silver Gill Adept on turn 1. I most definitely would have played Hexcatcher and just passed and passed. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. I'm getting Neo Brand vibes here. Very, very strong Neo Brand vibes. It could also be that that green blue value deck, Birthing Ritual deck. Okay, no matter what it is, I am playing Hexcatcher after Hexcatcher from here on out. They know I have Hexcatcher. I'm just gonna play it here. Play around some sort of maybe counter magic from our opponent if they are a blue-green Birthing Ritual deck. I don't remember the list very well, but if they have some sort of counter magic, I want to get around it. Things like Stern Scolding. To be honest, I can't remember those lists. If you're much more in tune with the metagame and what the 75s are like, then you can play more accurately than I am right now. Because there are disadvantages to playing, like, you know, your Hexcatcher out like this. The first one being, okay, so like if I'm playing it out right now, it's almost like I don't have Tishana's Tidebinder, I don't have any more Soporific Springs, I don't have like Force Negation, Flare of Denial. When you pass with 3 mana up, you can have like anything, you can do anything. Okay, this is some sort of, maybe an Omnath deck? Maybe an Omnath deck? Ottawar was a great draw. I really like that draw. Okay, let's just attack and see what happens. I don't know what this is anymore. Okay, I think it's a leyline deck. Sorry, I think it's a control deck, like an Omnath deck of some sort. You want to take my Hexcatcher? All right, Hexcatcher taken. But I still get. Oh, Shardless Agent. Okay, that resolves. Is this Living End? Is it Rhinos? Birthing Ritual. Fascinating. I'm gonna let it resolve. I hope it doesn't kill me. You have to sack a creature, right? At the beginning of your end step, you control a creature, look at top 7 cards. You may sack a creature. I think with it on the, I think I'm gonna kill this thing. Or do I? Just really, like, can I die? Like, is this just is this deck just gonna value me out, or am I gonna die here? That's my only concern. Because it would be better for me to play Hexcatcher here. And if I did play Hexcatcher, well, they can't ephemerate it with Solitude. Or do they find Solitude with this? I mean, sack a creature. If you do, you search a library creature on X among them. It has to be just one, so you can go to 4. So you can get Omnath, gain, draw a card. Okay. Yeah, they are going to sacrifice. Ooh, to any targets. Reach. Okay, cool. I don't like that, but whatever. It happened. I think we're just going to be playing a bunch of cards here. Let's cancel. Let's play Mistcaller first. I'm playing Mistcaller just so I have something to sack to Hexcatcher if I really need to protect myself. They have an island, so we have Island Walk, and I'm just going to pass with the Dismember. And whatever is going to come for 5 mana, I definitely do not want to see it on the battlefield. Nope. 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 So if they go to the end step with 1 creature, we're going to try to dismember the stupid twin shot thing. Channel, it can deal 2 damage to any target. That's fine. What the hell is this? If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, the ability triggers an additional time. Sure. Sure. Is this where we're going to see Solitude? And then they conceded. Why would they do that? Like, don't you have... You can try to find something with Birthing Ritual, right? Okay, I don't know what this is. This is like a complete brew to me. Looks weak to Harbinger this season, though. Looks weak to Harbinger this season, so we probably want that over some Rejuries. Mistcaller is probably fine. It's probably an Ephemerate deck. Stern Scolding looks good. Consign to Memory looks good. Well, then what the hell am I supposed to side out here? The Hexcatcher is probably not that good. The Hexcatcher is probably not that good. It's probably overrated. The Force of Negations might be really good. Check out the Hex Catchers, and probably some Dismembers are overrated. I have a feeling I have to counter this birthing ritual. So it looks like it's some sort of it looks like it's going to be a Cascade deck. Okay, what else can we learn about this deck? Okay, they're playing with Cascade cards, so they're not playing with any like cheap removal, unless it's like Fire and Ice. Um, oh, this is not an Ephemerate deck. It can't be because Shardless Agent wouldn't want to ever look for Ephemerate. I don't think so. I think the idea is just Shardless Agent into um, Shardless Agent into Birthing Ritual. So I don't have to worry about Ephemerate. I probably still have to worry about Solitude. But I don't have to worry about Ephemerate. How many blue cards are probably in this deck? Some number. Maybe some number of counterspells are better. So Dismember might be awkward. Maybe I want Counterspell. Maybe I do want Hexcatcher if they tap out. So I'm trying to think, okay, how would I play against Living End? What would I do versus Living End? Now they had the green mana still. How multicolored is this deck? It's probably base blue-green. Okay, I'm gonna trust. Actually, I'm gonna take out the Harbinger of the Seas. I'm gonna trust. Our opponent's mana is mostly blue-green, or like I guess it could be banned for Leyline Binding. So I want Hex. Now I want Hexcatcher. Maybe now I want the extra Consign to Memory. Okay, we'll play it like that. And hope this is good enough. I might be overrating Mistcaller here because it's like only good versus Birthing Ritual. This hand looks great. Keep. Oh, I guess the extra Ottawa here is a smidge clunky, but that's okay. If we find out our opponent has like a lot of red cards, and like if they are an Omnath deck, then we'll definitely bring in Harbinger of the Season in the next game. But at the moment, I have no idea what this deck is all about. We got our Mind Spring over here, which is a pretty good card in any matchup that is going to be a bit patient, going back and forth. Oh, we're going to have like a turn 2 Birthing Ritual? We just want the mana up. Oh, what's with everyone attacking our Leyline Binding lately? Like, what's going on with that? No one likes my Ether Vial. Everyone hates my Ether Vial. Alright, we'll play one Mind Spring and then pass with Consign to Memory up. We'll counter a Shardless Agent or another Cascade spell. What my Ether Vial do to anybody? I can only assume they have counter magic in hand. You Cascade, I counter. Okay, come on, lands. Draw me lands. That's not land. It's not particularly useful to me right now. Okay, we'll just play another Mind Spring and pass. If I don't draw a land next turn, I probably have to play this Ottawa and draw one card. Don't be playing Verdict now. That'd be extra rude. That's extra rude. Hell no. Okay, we'll cast. We'll get rid of the Flood Pits Drowner. Cast by exiling a blue card. I'll keep the Consign to Memory. Just because it's the more castable card. Okay. Probably behind here. Sure. I knew it. I knew it. All right, we're bringing Harbinger of the Seas back. Okay, when Omnath enters, draw a card. I'd rather you didn't. Okay, this is not terrible. Let's draw some cards. Does it change anything? No, I can wait. Just pass. Oh no, it does matter. It does matter. Our opponent has No, I don't want to attack. All right, we have to do it now because our opponent has Fire and Ice, and if I do this at the end of their turn, they Fire and Ice me. That would really suck. So now we have protection from Fire and Ice. At least not hitting both creatures at the same time. We are now probably horribly behind. Horribly, horribly behind. Yeah, it looks like it's just, I guess this is just a modern day Omnath deck. Playing with birthing rituals. Oh, and Quantum Riddler. That's quite the idea. I don't feel too good, because if the Omnath can find a Solitude, that's going to stall us big time. Like if we find any Island Walk Lords, I think we can recover from this. There's definitely a world where they just have nothing good in their hand. Okay, so we've exhausted this one, but we didn't exhaust this one. Okay, we'll float a mana, I'll play this. Or actually, I'll undo. Maybe I'll just do it for 3. Sorry, I'll pay 3. Just draw 1 card and we'll play the Ether Vial. Even though we desperately need to get deeper into our deck. Force Negation is not the worst thing in the world. Given that we're losing anyway. Maybe I wasn't thinking about this properly. Maybe I should have actually drawn 2 cards because I'm dead in like 2 turns. So like, what point is this Ether Vial? I mean, okay, maybe the Ether Vial does have a point because if I draw, for example, Flood Pit's Drowner, I can slow if I start slowing the game down, as would be the case if I'm trying to get back into this game, then the Ether Vial is going to be more important on the later turns. The hell is this? Helga, Skittish Seer, 3 mana for a 1/3 Frog Druid. It's a very nice art. Whenever you cast a creature spell, another Omnath, okay. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 4 or greater, you draw a card. Gain 1 life, put a counter on the Helga. You can also tap to add mana. Tap, add X mana of any one color where X is Helga's power. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells with mana value 4 or greater. Is this like the Vivi of the set or something? Ha! What was I saying? Okay, I don't have any good plan for this game at the moment, though, so I'm just going to pass. What's probably going to happen is I have to Flood Pit's Drowner the Quantum Riddler, because this thing's flying. And then if they attack with Omnath, we have to gang block it. But I'm talking like, you know, we're playing like there's a chance. And there is a chance. It's just not a very good one. And maybe the old-fashioned Merfolk players would groan at the sight of this deck. I actually think the matchup versus Omnath is quite good. It's fine. Nothing wrong with it. But I remember I had more nuanced Solitude. Okay, so it's going to enter the battlefield.
Exile creature. Okay, it's gone. What was my nuanced strat versus this deck? One thing's for sure, Harbinger of the Seas is definitely coming in. I don't know what red cards there are in this deck, but there's a lot of red lands for just Omnath and Fire and Ice. Another Quantum Riddler. Borderline casting like it's... Okay, I do what I've seen enough. Okay, I'm not coming back from any of this. It's just not happening. Okay, I want all the Harbinger of the Seas. All of them. I might also want Dismember. Even though a lot of these cards have ETBs. Let me think. I do want to kill Omnath. I can't kill Quantum Riddler. Okay, maybe I don't want Dismember. I'm just going to have to live without it. Soul Dispute is good, though. Soul Dispute is going to work. Stern Scolding. Hit Solitude. It's that frog thing. I think Mistcaller is not going to work in this matchup. It's just, this is not going to be the matchup for that card. And maybe now, yeah, I'm going to get rid of the Hex Catcher, which means I need more beef in this deck. I don't think Mirror Reader is going to do it by itself. No, Flood Pits may not be strong enough here. Like, Flood Pits probably is fine, but I'm just going to try to live without it. What does Consigned Memory do? Am I overrating this card? So Consigned Memory, it can hit the Cascade trigger, it hits Leyline Binding, it hits Solitude. Okay, yeah, it's good. It's gonna do the job. We need this card. I'm thinking, if they have Fire and Ice, do I want... Yeah, these 3 drops are good. The Reader is gonna be good. That's it. I think the plan is slam Harbinger of the Seas, more or less. Or is Hex Catcher good? It's good versus Planeswalkers, but I don't know if there are any in this deck. I just don't know. I just think the main card I have to get rid of is that stupid Birthing Ritual. Hand is awkward, but we're going to keep it. It's awkward because I never liked the double vial hands. Now, on top of that, I prefer to have more land drops so that when we get a Mind Spring that, like I would love this to be a land so that we can get into, like, draw into 4 lands and then win. There's another problem with this hand in that I think versus Omnath, you do want to put a good chunk of pressure on your opponent, and this hand just doesn't really do that. It's, like, pretty slow. I'm probably gonna sandbag this Glasspool Mimic in my hand, even though it has. I do want more land drops and play for Mind Spring Merfolk. I just need more threats. We just don't have any right now. And that's gonna be good. Rejury should be good. So plan is just dump my hand and consign a Solitude, more or less. I smell a Fire and Ice is coming up, but I don't really want to pivot around this thing. If they want to kill this thing with Fire and Ice, then go for it. And it appears that they don't. They want to wait a little bit. But waiting gets... Well, I guess it doesn't really get punished. Ooh, perfect. Bingo! You can even copy it. In theory. And pass. Commercial District, sure. Subtlety goes to the bin. I guess they don't want to play a Shardless Agent here. deploying our cards. I'm gonna kill this thing. What you want to do? You want to do something. You want to fire that card. It's fired. Super fired. Pick this up. Pick this up. Draw another land. I'm going to attack, and I think I'm going to put the Harbinger of the Sea in play after blocks. It might look like we're trying to put a Lord in play. Damn. Couldn't fool him. Couldn't fool them. Well, I'm still going to do this, though. Use Ether Bow's ability, yes. Because your Leyline Binding is still shut off. Okay, and pass. And we gotta hope this thing lives the next turn. Then we can start cloning it. And then I think that's just game. Like, I think that's just game. They don't have a green mana source. And we have consign, so we can double we can replicate this thing. Sure. That's allowed. It's gonna go away. It's gonna go away at end of turn. I think I'm gonna leave these both where they are. I'm just gonna say no to the first, no to the second one, and I'll slowly deploy my other cards here. Ooh, I drew another card. Okay, I take it back. Well, anyway, I'm not going to take back anything. I'm going to attack with Harbinger. And we'll hold up Mindspring and we'll play it on one. Uh-oh! Found the green source. Which is slightly in the rude territory. Well, I don't have to play around. Oh, you found the forest. That's so rude. So incredibly rude. Okay, I'm going to cast with Replicate. We'll replicate it a million times. If they Solitude Harbinger of the Seas, we can copy it with Glasspool Mimic, and I will not put any creatures in play. And I think we are going to be taking up both cards now. Sorry, take up both vials. From here. So I can attack through this stupid Shardless Agent. I can't activate Vial now because in response they could hit the Harbinger of the Seas. Like a Vial on 3 represents Tashanda's Tidebinder. So we're going to say no to the one on 3. We're going to say yes to the other one. Drew another land, which is fine. Okay, we'll activate this. Put a Reader in play. Okay, attack for 3, I guess. Then we'll activate Mindspring Merfolk and draw 2 cards. There were not the greatest cards. Not the most amazing. I mean, okay, so it's maybe not that bad. What I can do is found an island. Found an island. And there's a Harbinger of the Seas on the battlefield. I guess if they go Shardless Agent, or they could play Leyline now. I guess they could play Leyline at what 5 when there's 5 lands in play, because they get a discount because of the blue and the plains. So it costs costs 2 less. How does that work? Or is it 4 mana? Am I calculating the Leyline math properly? It's like a weird card. Okay, here comes Leyline. Okay, go target something. Going for my Regery. Okay. It's gone. It's not what I was expecting at all. I'm still gonna baby my Harbinger of the Seas, though, that's for sure. I hope they don't have a second plains in the deck. I mean, I don't even know what's in their hand. Stern Sculling. Okay, now I don't care about Harbinger of the Seas at all. Okay, we'll keep making our land drops. Attack for just 3. They're going to preserve their life total. Play a Mind Spring and pass. I have a feeling they have Mystical Dispute in hand. We've never given them an opportunity to play it. Or they could have Subtlety, too. They could have Subtlety mana up. Oh, we drew Olar Gloomlight Verges. I've never seen this before. This is the first. Okay, so they're going to play Mystical Dispute. That's fine. We'll pay the 3. They might have a second one, though. Yeah, they just want to tap us out. Which is sort of fair, although in our case, it's not going to matter. Oh, I guess at this point now there's a Riddler warped away, so now the Riddler can come back. So we're going to see a Riddler. So we just need some way to get through this thing. Oh, that's why they played the Leyline on the Regery, because it's too easy to attack into this card. That's fair and fine. I think we're just going to try to draw max cards with this Mind Spring Merfolk, even though it might tap us down. Oh, they are going to go for a Solitude. They got rid of a Helga thingamabob. All right, like counter it. You have the follow-up counter for this. Nope. Okay, that was nice. Okay, now we have nothing to hold up. Just go for max. Max power. Should just know these things. There's nothing more than 3 mana in this deck. Oh, well now we drew a Consign to Memory. I think I'm still going to max it out, though. For nothing. Yeah, don't take damage. Unfortunately, our files are not high enough, so we're just gonna pass. Also, our opponent just has like 2 cards left in hand, so we're probably supremely advantaged here. Well, that smells like desperation. That smells like absolute desperation. Elish Norn. A permanent entering causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger. It triggers twice. Permanents entering don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger. Okay. So these cards are basically turned off. Now, funny enough, I think I am going to now glass pool copy a Mind Spring Merfolk. And if Tashana's Tiebinder's turned off too, I don't need it anymore. Okay, so we'll play Glass Pool. We'll copy a Mind Spring Merfolk. And apparently Tashana's Tiebinder is pretty useless. Put that in play. We might just have to go wide. It's like what I'm getting at. Can I go wide here? No, not really. Okay, let's draw more cards. Go Mind Spring Merfolk. We've got a Cavern of Souls, which is all we really needed. And we're gonna pass. Do we pass? Can I attack here? I can attack for, you have to block this, you have to block the 4/4. I get in 7 damage. You can eat the 4/4. And you have to chump block the 5/5. And I get in 7? Sure. Oh no, you can kill the Harbinger of the Seas. That's not good. No, if you eat the Harbinger, no, if you kill the Harbinger of the Seas, you die. This is a good attack. This is a good attack. Or I guess you can eat. This can eat the 4/4. This can eat the other 4/4, and then I get in 8 damage. They go to 2, and that's fine too. Sure. That wasn't the best block, but whatever. It's okay. It went to 1. So we have answers to basically everything. Birthing Ritual, no. But how am I going to say no to this? I would do it with Force of Negation, throwing away... oh, I guess Flood Pit's Drowner, that doesn't do anything. Good Vigilance. Yeah, that's free 4, that's value. Free 4 damage. Anyway, I have 3 attackers. You have 2 blockers. I have 4 attackers. You have 2 blockers. But you want to make me attack? What's up your sleeve? Some sort of Settle the Wreckage or something? No, nothing. All right. It took a while, but we got there against this Birthing Ritual Omnath deck. If I was certain it was Omnath, I would have just kept the Harbinger of the Seas in the deck and to begin with. It was very funny. They probably should have been more locked out of the game than they actually were. But even when they had their main basic, they were still completely hampered. I mean, they couldn't hard cast the Solitude, and they were forced to start pitching to play it. And this is not an Ephemerite deck, so it wasn't nearly as dangerous as it usually would have been. All right, that was round 2. Let's move on to round 3. Here for round 3, we won the die roll. This is a keeper. This is going to be a similar situation as last game, where I'm going to play the land. I'm going to play the island first instead of putting a sink into play first. Well, I mean, I do have a little bit of room actually this time to put the sink into play first, and I'll tell you why. It's because if our opponent goes like turn 1 Ragavan, Guide of Souls or something, we can dismember it on our turn, and that would still work out. Yeah, maybe I'm going to do that, especially if we have dismember in our hand. I don't want to pay 3 life. That's because I have dismember. It's going to be a little painful, a little bit more painful than I want it to be. So, oh, okay, we're up against the Blink deck, which is, in my opinion, a great matchup. It always was, and now it's a supremely great matchup. They left a card on top of their deck. They like that card. Well, I like my cards too. Silvergill, I guess, show Flood Pits. We don't know which one to show. All these cards are so good in this matchup. And now that we have 3 lands, it's going to be extra, extra, extra good. Oh! Oh! Not what I was expecting at all. Oh, but I showed them the Flood Pits already. So my guess is this is actually Reanimator. Actually, this is a Reanimator deck. Okay, so we're gonna dismember. Where am I gonna dismember? How many cards can be dumped here? This can get to an 8 power creature. If I attack with Silvergill Adept, it will live. But there will be no cards left in hand. And then I can... And yeah, okay, so let's attack first. I'm gonna figure out my options here. So if they dump their whole hand, I would Flood Pits and get rid of this stupid thing. So it's very unlikely they would go for that line. Look how bold this is. So bold. Wow, they're going for the block. Pass priority, I guess? Do I just pass priority here? Or now do I dismember this thing? To be honest, I don't really want to lose my card. Or maybe they have Unearth. Is that what's going on here? So the plan is, if they dump the entire hand to kill the Silvergill Adept, then we can Flood Pits on their turn. They're at least dumping a Traxa. Okay, and then that's it. And I guess they're going to try to go Reanimate it next turn. They know about Flood Pits, they do not know about Hexcatcher. So if they go for Unearth, you can throw 2 creatures out. Some of these decks, I think, play Bowmasters. I certainly hope not. And we're going to play the Flood Pits because that's the card that they know. Like, passing back is just, like, so much. Ugh, don't play Bowmasters here because I have 2 Stern Scoldings. It'd be such a waste. Okay, good, they don't have it. Or they just didn't want to play it. Anyway, we can play completely at flash speed at this point, so that's just what we're going to do. Yeah, I'll just pass. Although it will be awkward if they just keep curving out and then play a Traxa, like curve out with a Traxa. Oh, they have Goryo's Vengeance. If that's the case, I'm still in trouble there, right? Damn, we really need... I really needed to Stern Scolding that frog, because then there wouldn't have been a discard outlet. What the hell is this? Oh, they're really all in now. Holy moly! I don't get it. Okay, so we're both gonna have nothing in the end, I think. So Solitude comes into play. It's gonna exile one of these cards. I'm gonna have to sack both my creatures anyway. Okay, it's gone. This comes into play. I counter Goryo's Vengeance. And it's gonna be a top deck war. Sure. Fetch for something. It's gotta be on a tap land, to be specific. This is not... I did not expect this battle to happen. I guess they were thinking about Goryo doing the Goryo's thing on their turn when I was tapped out. Probably they should have done that. But I guess they were afraid of Force Negation, and they had their own Force Negation, so they figured if I have Force Negation, they can completely win that counter war on my turn instead of their turn. But we had a very funny exchange, and I ended up coming out ahead. We'll play the Mutavault, play Silvergill Adept, show a Flood Pits Drowner. What a war. What a crazy war. Okay, in this situation, I'm not going to play around anything. We're just going to play Flood Pits. Attack as much as possible. We have to get our opponent to dead. It was not a very good draw. But it seems like our opponent could have a lot of dead cards in their hand too. They could draw like Force Negation and stuff. Oh, the Subtlety. Smell like some. I smell Subtlety. I think it's Subtlety. Interesting, if they find Gora's Vengeance, might not be enough. It is Subtlety. It's going to enter the battlefield. We'll tap it down. That will be that. Okay, so it's we got a Reanimator strategy. Well, okay, so it has Subtlety, Psychic Frog, probably Quantum Riddler. I'm pretty sure we want. Okay, well, I probably have some notes here. What do I do against this deck? Where's Goryo's? Consign to Counterspell and Mystical Dispute. Consign, Counterspell, and Mystical Dispute. Take out Dismember and Reejerey. 3 Dismember, 2 Reejerey. I wonder if Dismember has a little bit more value in very specifically this matchup, being that I can hit the Psychic Frog. Oh, sorry, this was... No, yeah, this is the right matchup. So I can also hit... So usually this only hits Psychic Frog, but in this case I can hit Subtlety as well. And Solitude. But do I need to hit Solitude? Consign, hit Solitude. Because the deal is, in response to Ephemerate, you can Dismember it. And this certainly is an Ephemerate deck. Stern Scalding. Maybe these cards are just better. Yeah, okay. I have decreed that these cards are just better. It's okay. I wish I had some more reliable piece of interaction. I mean, maybe it's actually pretty good. So we go turn 1 Vial, and turn 2 I'll have Mind Spring and Hexcatcher up, so if they go for Goryo's, they can't. Or if they went for some sort of Goryo-ish line, they can't. Oh, and now we have Counterspell, which is also convenient. Shadowy back streets. You don't want to know what goes on those back streets. When the sun goes down, you get out of those streets. Psychic Frog is back. It's probably going to be slightly annoying. Do I have any answer to this? I do. I do find an answer. Now the real question is, do I want to do anything this turn or wait next turn? I think I'm going to let the Psychic Frog hit us once, because if they have Reanimator up their sleeves, I really need to counterspell it. I really need to counterspell it. So we will... I think we're just going to get hit once. We'll draw 1 extra card. We have a big pile of cards in our hand. I don't mind. But on following turns, we'll have Hexcatcher. We'll have everything up. Quantum Riddler with backup. This has Warp. Yeah, let's counter something. Play Mind Spring. Take our turn. Got a Lord. We're really choked on mana, so I'm gonna play this Glass Pool. Just attack for 2 and pass. Figure out our options in the future. We need more mana for Mind Spring and also just to curve our hand out. So when they attack, I'm going to Flood Pits, or sorry, when they declare their attack, we'll Flood Pits, tap it down, even threaten to get rid of it on following turns. The Undercity Sewers enters the battlefield. It's rid of Faithful Mending. Oh, but it does have Flashback. Gain 2 life, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards, sure. I'm not really committing anything to the board because there is counter magic up. There's counter magic up. What else is up? So a lot of things are up. Also, I would get blown out by a Solitude into Ephemerate. They would wipe out the entire board, which is also not ideal. I might end up playing Silvergill Adept here, though. Let's attack and see what happens. Do I want to get rid of this thing? Maybe not. We want to keep the Flood Pits, and then we just go for a kill in what looks like soon. I don't really want this thing to go off, though. Okay. Just gonna pass. I'll think about this when it happens. Okay, it happened. So I can Hexcatcher, sack the Flood Pits. I could just counter with Mystical Dispute. That's also an option. Actually, that's maybe the best option. I don't have a lot of good spots for this Mystical Dispute. And I can still have 2 mana up for Hexcatcher or not Flood Pits, just for Hexcatcher if I need to. And I can deploy Silvergill Adept at end of turn. So, okay, we'll use it on this. Even though this is like my main only counter. But I don't have to worry about Reanimation because there isn't a critical card in the graveyard to reanimate at the moment. And, okay, we'll just pass it back to our opponent. They're curving up very poorly. Very, very poorly. If they hit the 5th land, I'd have to be slightly concerned about Solitude. Looks like our opponent is now finally making a move. So you're going after this, so there will be an Ephemerate. Can I counter this? I can't. Even if... No, I can counter this. So I can sack the whole board. And that's not really in my best interest versus a Psychic Frog. But I'm going to lose the whole board anyway, right? I'm losing the whole board anyway. So I'll lose 2 cards and I'll lose a 3rd one. So if I'm going to lose all of them, I might as well lose it here. We are drawing something off of our Silvergill Adept. What a weird game. It was a 3 for 4 here. And let's hope we draw something really good off of our Silvergill Adept. It's going to be important. Silvergill Adept. Or this card, we sacked 4 cards for this thing to exist. Oh, it was a great draw. It was another Silvergill Adept. Oh, it was another Minds. What a bunch of great draws. So we'll cast Silvergill Adept. We'll reveal the Mind Spring Merfolk. Maybe that was incorrect. Maybe I should have vialed that in. Yeah, because if I filed that in, I would have consigned to memory now. Okay, I'm gonna wait. What am I gonna do here? Do I wait? So if I could do this differently, I would activate Vial, put Silvergill Adept in play. Then if we drew something like Consigned Memory, I would play Mindspring Merfolk first. And then next turn we could play the Lord. So as it stands, I could still dump my hand and hope they draw nothing. And they're still a little far away from having a good. I mean, they need Gorios, right? Okay, maybe I still dump my hand, and I just hope that they don't draw Solitude plus another Ephemerate or some crap like that. Also, I don't need to put the Lord in play at end of turn. If they pass priority to the end of turn, I'll just take my turn. Oh, actually, I can do something else. I mean, this thing doesn't have flying. You gonna give it flying? Sort of need to, right? Okay, yeah, they're gonna give it flying. Okay, you have flying. Fly, you fools. Oh, Wrath for 3. Sure. I guess I'm not thrilled about that, but sure. Oh, you left the 2-drops on the board. Okay, fair. Even though Mindspring wasn't doing a whole lot right then and there. We'll start with Hexcatcher, attack for 3, followed up next turn with a Lord. And now I think I'm going to burn this Consign on the Psychic Frog. Like, just even one trigger. It's like it'd be just one card less that they have that I have to deal with. Or do I care? Maybe I don't. Okay, we're going to just let it happen. Because I think we're going to race whatever they have. Unless they find like another Wrath Disguise or some crap like that. Gloomlake Verge, play a land, a Lord, attack for 6. And pass. Don't Wrath the Skies again. Please don't. I can protect versus not much. Desperate. Okay, that was desperate. They gave it flying. I think that was pretty desperate. They have a lot of cards in hand. I'm surprised they're not like dumping some of them. All right, did we win or what? Oh, cards are getting played. Oh, it's another Wrath? Oh, and they already have 2 energy already. I forgot about that. I hope they didn't draw that card. Well, I guess... Am I just dead? Or am I supremely screwed? Okay, let's make them pay a little bit. If that's what they want to do. And if they don't use this, sure, that's fine. You want to get rid of your Psychic Frog or what? Psychic Frog versus a Master of the Pearl Trident. Who would win? I kept the Master of the Pearl Trident because this has Island Walk, so it can give future creatures unblockable. All right, it's one useless card versus our opponent's many probably good cards. Probably Quantum Riddler in there. Or maybe it's a bunch of junk because our opponent just went to 3 for... That's dangerous. That was 25% of your life total, opponent. 25%. My Mindspring can attack 3 times and achieve victory. Priest of Fell Rites. So what can you get? You can get a Psychic Frog with this. No, hold on. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcerer. You can't even pay it! You have a Grizzly Bear! That was a great draw. That was a very good draw, actually. What other abilities does this have? Pay 3 life, sack this creature, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, activate only as a sorcery. Unearth for 5. Going to 2? It's even more dangerous. They have to have, like, a bunch of interaction or some crap like this. Was this going to be Atraxa? This would be great if this is Atraxa, because we can consign to memory the Atraxa, Flood Pits it, then Glasspool Mimic, Flood Pits the Priest of Fell Rites for victory. Okay, hold on. So in response to this, I'm going to play Flood Pits Drowner. If they have Subtlety, they might play it, and if they do, then I can consign to memory, counter both triggers. So we're going to we're going to hit this. This is their turn, so they can't play. Oops. Oh, whatever. I didn't hit replicate. One more Marsh Flats up. What is going on here? Planes. Was it for Ephemerate? Okay. Interesting. Game's not over yet. What do we need to draw? Last card, or one of the last cards was Ephemerate. They got a Solitude, an Ephemerate, and a Watery Grave. Wow, maybe at 1 life they win. So close, so close. Ugh, you really had to find that Solitude. Solitude Ephemerate. Ugh. Chooses Solitude, Ephemerate, and Watery Grave. Damn it, those were good cards. I thought I won. I was wrong. I was dead wrong. Trying to think if I could have done anything differently, like let Atraxa resign, but that seems insane. I actually didn't know that they had 1 land drop left. They sandbagged the land in hand, which good for them. That was a good idea. Well, I have this Lord. Well, I mean, I'm just dead. So if I play the Lord, what we really need is another land for this Glasspool Mimic. I play Lord, they Solitude Lord, attack here, they block, they gain a bunch of life, and I lose. Okay, let's just go to game 3. It's an easy peasy play. Okay, now what? Okay, this is a Priest of Fell Rites deck. So it's not a regular deck. So Dismember actually has more purposes because it can kill the Priest. Oh, but I can't remember. The problem is if I have too much of this junky interaction, it like poorly interacts with the rest of the deck. Like Mistcaller is a better... I think the deal is I have Mistcaller in the deck as an exchange for Dismember. Like Dismember is really nice when it lines up, but when it doesn't line up, it sucks. And what comes out of the graveyard and what's being exiled out of my opponent's hand with like Solitude is more important than anything else. So we're just gonna run this back. Well, I probably should have. Oh no! I should have Force Negation. No, I should have some Force Negation for very specifically Wrath the Skies, which wrecked us in this game so far. We're gonna keep this hand. The hand is decent. Go turn 2 Silvergill Adapt and figure it out from there. It's nice to play Silvergill Adept again. That's all I have to say. It's nice to have Silvergill Adept again. It's been a while. It's been too long, Silvergill Adept. It's been too long. I don't need to play that card. Merfolk. I'll show Flood Pit's Drowner so that if I pass with 3 mana up, it won't look suspicious. They'll suspect Flood Pit's Drowner more than they're going to suspect Tishana's Tidebinder. And if we keep curving, like when we get to 4 lands, I think this hand is pretty decent. With the only thing that we have to be concerned about is Rathus guys. Psychic Frog. Frog, 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 frog. Frog, frog, frog. I don't have Dismember here, so I shall do nothing but pass. Another Psyche Frog. So when the first one hits, I can Tishana's Tidebinder it. Alternatively, I could just Flood Pits it. And the next turn play Master, attack for 6, hold up several Consign to Memories. I mean, I'm not going to do anything about this one. We have combat. Yeah, we're going to Flood Pits. I guess I'm just going to figure out my options afterwards. Another Lord. That's sort of important just in case our opponent plays Ephemerate on a future turn. So I think I'm just going to be a little aggro here. So if our opponent goes, say, Solitude, we can Consign, they Ephemerate, they get rid of the Lord, but then we play another Lord and we still have Consign for the next What the hell? Oh, they're going for it now. That's fine. Okay, so this thing comes into play. Oh, do they have Force of Negation? No, if they have Force of Negation, then they can't really block. Not well. Exile creature. Consign. So they're very low on cards. We're very high on cards. But maybe now they go Atraxa Ephemerate. Sorry, Atraxa Reanimate. Quantum Riddler is fine. Maybe we just win next turn. Or can I? No, I guess I can't win next turn, but it's pretty close. So they're going to attempt to stack something good on top of their deck. The Psychic Frog down. Are they going to exile the graveyard to draw a card with Psychic Frog? I think that's what they're going towards. Yeah. Otherwise, I was planning to block the Psychic Frog, and if they want to throw away 2 extra cards to kill this Flood Pit's Drowner, that's fine by me. I don't mind. That exchange is good. Totally good with me. Oh, they're getting aggressive. They threw a Goryo's Vengeance in the graveyard. Another Goryo's Vengeance. I guess they just don't plan on winning fair. Or sorry, they don't plan on winning the unfair way. Okay, that goes away. I sort of wish I drew one more card here. So I can attack for... I can attack for 11. If they go Wrath, I can sacrifice 3 cards. That's fine. Okay, cancel. You can Ephemerate this thing? Well, if you Ephemerate, then I can counter it, I guess. No, there was nothing. Okay, I'm going to put Hexcatcher in play. I think... I think that's game. I think that's pretty close. Because they go to 1. If they play land, Rat the Skies, that's not going to do it. Because I can sacrifice 3 cards, and I have a consign to memory for a potential Solitude. So they would have to literally... I guess what they can do is they can draw... Okay, there is a line. They reanimate Atraxa, that's it. But they got rid of the Goryo's Vengeance. So I guess they probably have 3 Goryo's Vengeances in hand, and they discarded 2 of them. Okay, they threw away a Subtlety. Give flying to this Psychic Frog. Do I just block this thing? Because this came into play tap, so I can afford to block one more thing here, I think. Let my opponent have 1 less card to draw. Invoke Solitude again. What do you want to get rid of, though? Okay, so what do you want to do with this Solitude? I want to get rid of the Island Walk Lord. That's fine, I think, because I have another Island Walk Lord coming up. Okay, there wasn't another one. This is just a block. You draw a card. Oh, but there is a problem here. I don't have enough resources to... Sorry, I can't prevent a Rat the Skies now. I'm gonna Thoughtseize me. Ugh, what could happen here? Okay, I just win. Okay, it's just they wanted to see what was in my hand for a future game, I guess. Oh, I don't know what the plan was. No. Oh, they just died to their own Thoughtseize. That was the plan. They're going out on their own terms. Okay, figured it out. Okay, that was a nice little grind that we had going on to game 3, but Merfolk came out ahead because we've got the resources to deal with these blink decks pretty well. That was round 3. Let's move on to round 4. Round 4, we lost the die roll. The hand's fine. I'm going to keep it. We have, what's most importantly, we have a 1-drop on the draw. Or like we have something to do with 1 mana on the draw, and that's... I'm sold. I am sold. They do something or don't do something, I'm happy. Unless this is a control deck, where this card is completely useless. Then that could be a problem. And we have a hand with Silver Gill Adept and Redrain. Hopefully that's going to benefit us later on in this game. Demolition Field. We're up against that. Are we up against that Ponza deck again? Is this like a thing? Is this just a thing? I don't get it. Okay, anyway. Well, we don't have so many... Unfortunately, we drew one of our basic lands. Not many of those in this deck. I guess we'll play Cavern of Souls, Merfolk. Play Silver Gill Adapt. I don't even remember what was in this deck. It was a Boros deck. Show... Regery. Return it to our hand. You got it. If I knew about that, I would just passed and played Flood Pits on their turn. Not really super familiar with this archetype. Well, we can play 2 cards in 1 turn, so we might as well do that. Give another reprieve. You want to reprieve me? Yeah, I guess so. We'll reprieve this! The Mind Spring, Merfolk. God, that card is frustrating. Now what do I do? Keep reprieving the crap out of me. Well, one good thing is these put the land into play untapped, right? Search your library for basic land, put onto the battlefield, and shuffle. So we're definitely going to... Well, we should use our mana right now to get a... they still know... What do they know about? The Regery? I think they know about the Regery. What have we been showing them? We showed them Flood Pits. Okay, I'm an idiot. Why did I show them Flood Pits in the second time? So the point being, if they want to use Demolition Field or Field of Ruin, then they're going to unlock another land so that we can play the Flood Pits on the following turn. You gotta be kidding me! You gotta be kidding me! 3 reprieves. And that was probably a mistake showing that flip. Did I misclick? I'm just being an idiot. I'm just not keeping track of what I've shown. In Paper Magic, I would turn the card upside down. A little bit of the game is getting cut off here. One has a bunch of mana in play. They're not doing anything with it, so some good news for us. Okay, here's the good news. There's only one reprieve left in the deck. There's only one reprieve left in the deck. All right, let's attack first. Or I guess I shouldn't do that. No, I can do that. I can do that. So they can Field of Ruin twice. Okay, Field of Ruin me then. No, hold on. If you're going to Field of Ruin me twice, then I should actually get Reedry in play first. It's just a higher quality card. You don't know about this card anymore. Aha! It resolved. So they can Field of Ruin a few times if they want, but... Is this mono white or something? Is this mono white control? It's supposed to be a red deck too. But they already have the white. Well, I guess they just count the Field of Ruin and the Demolition Field as red sources, so they didn't need to name red with the Sunken Citadel. Or maybe this is just not what I think it is, but usually this is a Boros land destruction deck of some sort. Now they're thinking, what are the consequences of unlocking these lands of mine? Are bad things going to happen? They could. They absolutely could. They're going to go for it anyway. Nope. All of a sudden, it got complicated. It got real complicated. Oh, they're going to do something else. They're going to play Solitude at end of turn. Sure. Sure. Now, do I want to play Dismember? Probably. I don't want to mess with this thing later. Certainly, I wouldn't like it if they show me Ephemerate. I wouldn't want them to attack next turn. I Dismember, they Ephemerate, and I'm like, regrets. Big time regrets. Can't tell. Are they flooding out? What is going on here? Well. Okay, well, let's go for Reedry again. That epic play. Then we'll bolt ourselves, and play a Silvergill Adept, revealing... Oh, they know about the Flood Pits. Okay, that they still know about. We'll untap our land. And then if they double remove a land, we could even maybe Mind Spring activate here. Even though we draw one card. I don't know what the value of that is. I'm just going to pass with this Mind Spring. I'm not even going to attack with it. There's not a great chance, but there's also a chance they play another Solitude, exile Reedry, and then eat my Mind Spring Merfolk for nothing. Alright, let's get the lands. I guess another thing they might be thinking about is, we're not really the deck to abuse, Demolition Field and Field of Ruin. Like, we got plenty of islands. We got islands up the wazoo. What I'm concerned about, like, what do they have for, like, so much mana? Farewell or some crap like that? You want a Wrath? Okay, Wrath is good. I can rally back. We have Silvergill Adept. Although I would have... I mean, there was a world where I just passed with Mind Spring Merfolk and just draw a bazillion cards. That is not the most beautiful card. I think we're going to Silvergill. Show the Flood Pits. I think we're going to Glasspool Mimic, copy the Silvergill Adept. just to guarantee that we get some value out of this. Oh crap, this deck has Path. It's got Path. We got Path. Boys and girls, we're screwed. Okay, I got nothing. Okay, I didn't think about that. This is okay. I guess this is just a mono white control deck. I mean, you know what? The last time we played against something like this, they had Path too, so. No! We don't want to draw that card. It's not a good card to draw. Well, I don't know what else to do with my hand. So, whoops, undo. Always tap the base. Always tap the non-basics. We're probably losing from here. Like, I'm not comfortable. Our opponent has a perfect life total. They've got a good chunk of mana out. We're going to exile this card. It's gone. Maybe we're now in 1-for-1 removal territory. Okay. As I'm learning more and more about this deck, I think we can play a lot better in games 2 and 3. That's fine. You want to kill my Vial? That is... It's okay with me. Okay, we'll play Flood Pits, and I guess we're just going to be starting to attack. Just pass. Use the ability, get our last island. But they don't know that's our last island yet. Well, they seem to be drawing some lands too, but well, whatever. We figure it out. A bit of a slugfest here. Given how this game played out, I think I completely wasted my hand. It was a complete waste. I should just put 2 permanents on the battlefield, do nothing. Actually, I should also just spend... There was like one turn I could have drew like 3 or 4 cards off of my Mind Spring. I just should have done that. That would have been perfectly fine. Druid Scolding is okay. Seems like their creatures have 2 power or 2 toughness. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna sandbag this land in my hand for as long as possible. This island, and so Path to Exile gets played. We're going to lose this thing, but I'm not going to search out for a land. So now they think my deck only has 4 basic islands, and they're going to play as if there's only 4 basic islands left in the deck. So in the next few games, I mean, I may still have to play this land in this game, but the next few games they're going to play as if there's only I only have 4 basic islands, and they could go for some greedier plays, assuming like there's no more lands in the deck. Wow, you're aggressive. Even ahead. I guess I let that happen. Can't be too frivolous with my life total though, because I do have to take 4 damage with this Dismember. I wonder if a deck like this is good in this metagame. All the blink around, the blink, the Eldrazi. I'm just curious, you know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Make for 2, pass. Beginning of combat, I will tap it down. don't really like playing like this because I feel like I open my like I'm trying to think like what is in my opponent's hand? Like is it literally just a bunch of lands or is it like a Wrath of Skies that's waiting to get more value or like just a big card that's waiting to get more value? But I like have nothing else to do with my everything. Oh, we can counter this. I can Stern Scolding the Skyclave. That's good. That's nice. So we have a lot of targets for this Stern Scolding and also our Consign to Memories. But like so like I want to play patiently, but like I can't really afford to play patiently, or we have to kill our opponent. Well, I feel like they're weak. Like I get a sense that they're weak here. At least if that Skyclave resolved, I could kill it. Well, okay, there's some good news here. Okay, so they can go Solitude one of these things. I think we're going to let it Solitude, and then we're going to use one of these Flood Pits to eat up the Witch Enchanter, and then we'll dismember the Solitude. So it won't be a completely free. And I'll dismember this. And I still have 3 mana for the Sink into Stupor if that matters. I have no idea what I'm going to use the Sink into Stupor though on. If I played the Sink immediately and they took their turn, then the Flood Pits cannot exchange itself with that land creature thing. This enters exile up to 1 target artifact or creature on the battlefield until this thing leaves the battlefield. Also, its channel, discard, exile target artifact or creature, return it to the battlefield. Oh, it's a blink card. I think that's fine. Okay, so I can eat up my Flood Pits, and then now the Sink and Stupor actually has some playability to it. So at the opportune time, we can Sink, and then it doesn't have flash, right? It's just a blink card. Sure. Eat up my land. Nope. Will not look. I will not look. Cannot force me to look. Oh, now they're going Field of Ruin happy? Drat. Wonder why they're so patient with Field of Ruin. Oh, maybe they think I have Tishana's Tideminder? Maybe? Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so we can let that resolve. And then that's where we probably play Otawara. So up to 1 target, non-basic lands, controller can search the library for something, that's fine. Well, actually, okay, I'm not. Do you wish to use the ability? No. It's just not, I get to put basic land. I have all my basic lands at hand. Maybe we're just going to pass. But now I can go Otawara, this card, tap this thing down, attack for 2, even suck it away. I guess they could channel. So what if I try to what if we try to go the channel? So if I now try to exile it, we'll have a target. Shovel this creature and target creature with a stun counter on it. I guess it just doesn't work the way I want it to. No, actually, okay, but I get rid of the channel card, which might have some value. How does that card work? Touch the Spirit Realm. No, stay there. Channel for 2 mana. Discard this card. Exile target artifact or creature. Return to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Oh, okay. So I could do it at my end step right now. So I try to exile this thing. So it's either going to go away, or they want to blink it. And maybe they just want it to go away. Yeah, I didn't think about that. But if they want to keep it around, if they wanted to keep it around, then they had to, what's it called? They would lose that thing. Witch Enchanter, sure. It's a 2-2. Okay, I'm going to reveal that I have this basic land. I want to keep throwing my lands away for nothing. Tired of that. This is going to be great. So now if they get rid of my Silvergill Adept, we keep drawing cards. Oh, and then we have Consigned to Memory on the way back down, too. Okay, that's good stuff. I'm getting excited now. Silvergill Adept to the rescue. And we're not going to block. No way, Jose. Sure. Want to blow up your own land? Can't blow up my lands. Ooh, this is good. Okay, I gotta make sure this resolves, though. Ugh, I don't think it's gonna matter. So if they have Path, I'm in a lot of trouble here. But I'm just gonna go for it. They have one known card, they have one unknown card in hand. Ah, the last card was Path. And I can't return my Glasspool Mimic. Okay, I'm gonna it's not time to concede, but it's a really bad spot. It's a really bad spot. I also should play faster. This is gonna be a control matchup. Game could go down to time very easily. So I'm not conceding because we do have Flood Pits. We still have some Flood Pits Drowners in the deck. What else could we draw? There's quite a few things that we could draw, quite a few options that we have up our sleeve. I do have to play quickly. Uh-oh, Castle Ardenvale. This is not going to help me particularly. Okay, I'm just going to concede. Go to the next game. I could slow the game down a smidge, but I'm not going to... Oh, actually, no, I was dead anyway. They activate Castle Ardenvale and I'm toast. Okay, cards that we want. Force Negation for sure. I think any counter magic is pretty good. Consigned to Memory should be fine for those enchantments that enter the battlefield. Maybe any counter spells are good, even Mystical Dispute. Cards I don't want. I definitely don't want Mistcaller. That probably doesn't do that much. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're an Ephemerate deck. Maybe. I don't know. Is Dismember good enough? Like, I think Dismember is fine. Maybe I'm wrong. I definitely want Hexcatcher. I definitely just want like a big pile of creatures and disruption that I would want versus any control deck. And maybe part of that involves getting rid of some Mirror Rejuries. Okay, well, good question. Can I live without Dismember? And also, okay, this is a mono color deck. So Harbinger this season is not nearly good this time. But I still don't know how many planes they have in their deck, period. They have Castle Ardenvale, which we can shut off. Shutting off the land, shutting off the Field of Ruins and Desolation Fields are really good anyway. You can't shut off everything. They are a Solitude deck. Okay, they have a lot of removal. I'm just not going to bring it in. I don't think it's quite the I win the game combo. I don't feel great about this. Take out one. Bring in a Mirror Rejury, and we'll just keep this. I think our main interaction will just be interacting with cards as they get played. I get a sense like we probably should have Mystical Dispute instead of Dismember. Keep this because there's just a lot of cards that I think our opponents can be tapping out for that we can just hard cast for 3 mana, like destroy this thing, and that's totally fine. Okay, we have an Ether Vial hand. It's not interactive. It's not that interactive. I don't think Flood Pit Strander is the card for this matchup. Okay, I definitely have to start using some stops because we need to play faster than our opponent. That's sort of nice. I like the Stern Scolding. We can deal with that 4-mana land that destroys artifacts. Or even Skyclave Apparition. I haven't seen that card in a hot minute. It's been a while. Since when did we last see Skyclave Apparition, you know? Oh, you know what? I should have brought in Harbinger of the Seas. There is a world where I can't... Well, I mean, I could still use this. Oh, we're going to lose our Vial. Okay. Very rude. Very rude, but what are we going to do about it? Ooh, let's play a Glassbowl Mimic and pass. I don't want to tap out because if I do, then I'm going to get hit by Skyclave Apparition. And that would be nasty. Very nasty. How big is this? 4 mana for that? Okay, I'll just play this. Do you have reprieve here? Okay, sure. Cavern of Souls is good. Merfolk, play a Regery, which is infinitely more important. Undo. They're all non-basics. Can't save any of them. I'm trying to play 2 cards here, but I don't think it's worth it. Two Demolition Fields. Another Gloomlake Verge. Well, player lands, and then just attack. And I have a lot of resources backed up here. But this is not the greatest spot. It's very, very awkward. This is for 4 mana. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may exile any number of white cards from your hand. If you're just hard casting this thing, exile target artifact or creature enchantment with mana value X or less. So I could, in theory, put Flood Pits in play and Hexcatcher, sacrifice one of them. I think this is going to be one of the more important cards in the game. I think. Not entirely sure. Did they show Wrath the Skies in this game? I can't remember. Maybe they didn't. Anyway, I would rather have a Regery in play, for sure, than to have a Flood Pit Drowner in play. I don't even know why I untap this. It's like completely pointless. Like, it doesn't produce... They don't actually have counter magic. Reprieve is not a counter spell. Chance of winning? Low. I feel very vulnerable here. I think our interaction is inadequate for what we see at the moment, and also we're just running out of cards. We are drawing way more lands than I want to. Had we started this game with a Vial? We started the game with a Vial. Vial and... Oh, actually, I don't remember how we started this game. Okay, let's go get our basics. This game, the fact that they only had 1 planes, that says a lot. Okay, can we draw, like, Counterspell? I could just play a Master of the Pearl Triad and just go for it. What is this? Return target permanent card with mana value 3 or less from a graveyard to the battlefield. If the spell was cast from a graveyard, you may copy the spell and may choose new targets for the copy, and it costs 5. Okay, you got a land back, sure. I think I just gotta, like, really go for it here. I don't have a hand that I can play patiently with, as much as I would like one. Tap down. Wrath for 3, sack 1 card. Wrath for 2, sack something. Okay, upkeep, I think I'm going to be tapping down. I guess Castle Ardenvale. If they want to make a token, go for it. It helps so much to know if they have Wrath Disguise on the deck or not. I feel like that's means Wrath is on the way. Classic Path to Exile. We haven't seen that card for ages. It's been a while. Damn it! More of this damn card. Please be Solitude. No, it's Wrath for 4. Yeah. I could feel it. Well, I could feel it at the moment that they played Path to Exile. Oh! That was a good draw. Okay, that was premium. Okay, I thought, wow, this game's over. Maybe it's not over. This game's far from over. This game's just beginning. The game is just beginning. Okay, the tables have turned. We're going to have a million cards. You're going to have no cards. Or you have 1 card. That 1 card maybe can deal with our Mindspring Merfolk. Ah! I forgot about that. Okay. Ah! We can't even get it back if we kill this stupid thing. Another damn land! Well, you know what? I was happy to seal the lands when I had the Skyclave. Oh, sorry, when I had the Mindspring. Had that Mindspring, I was like, yes, this is what flooding out is for. This is exactly what flooding out is for. Our opponent is empty-handed. Our opponent is empty-handed. We have okay chances of still winning this game because they can still flood out and we could top deck some good cards straight. But my big problem is I didn't bring in Harbinger this season. Actually, this is more important than I would think because this is, if we do get to a late game like this, they have a lot of blockers. And now that I think about it, it's tough. It's actually tough to be playing Harbinger this season because they have so many answers. Path to Exile, March of Otherworldly Light. Like, it doesn't play around any of those cards. Okay, it looks like we're just flooding out this game. It just seems to be what the situation is. Our opponent is thinning our deck like crazy, and we cannot take advantage of it at all. I have nothing left. I got 5. It ends at 5. At the same time, they thin their deck too. The thinning goes both ways. Okay, well, we have 5 turns. Actually, less because of the castle. Alright, it's not nothing. It's something. I just need to draw more cards like that for the next billion turns. I need to draw gas every single turn. I also need my opponent to whiff every single turn. And then we can get back into this game. It does make me wonder, maybe I had a little bit more potential to play more patiently instead of dumping my hand. Like, maybe there was room to do that. Although, at the time, it didn't... The thing is, against control decks, there's definitely times to go the long game And then there are times where, well, you just don't have that many resources to go the long game, so you just hope to win the short game. If my opponent didn't have Wrath, it looked like a pretty good line. Don't tick up. That's interesting. Because now we can block the Skyclave. Okay, you make token, you make a second token. I can counter the second token. You attack with everything. I can block this, take 4, go to 5. I'm just trying to think. How do we win this game? I can't be on defense too much because the stupid creature has flying. So I'll be taking the aggro route here. We need to attack. I have to get in there. Oh, no blocks. Okay. Fine by me. So we'll counter that. Can't counter the second one, though. That's okay. Oh, swear to God, if you have this reprieve. Okay, that's fine. Reprieve is a really frustrating card to lose to. All in. Alright, well, I'm all in blocking this dummy. I'd like to get a 1-1, please. I go to 5, but I have more blockers now. Let's see. Wrath for 3. Okay. Mutavault is good. Actually, Mutavault's not good. Yeah, they kept the Field of Ruin. Kept 1 Field of Ruin just for that measly Mutavault that I might draw one day. Okay, good smack for 1. Oh, that was one of our better draws. Okay, we're gonna play that land from our hand. Tap out. Tap out big! What do we want? A 1-drop. All the 1-drops are bad, though. Oh God, we drew our 1-drop. Oh God! What to do here? Okay, if they attack for 2... Oh wow, this is this is one of these games where I'm so dead, but I drew my absolute best possible cards. So if I take 2, any 2 damage that gets through makes me lose. So if I take 1, they make 2 more tokens, I can take 1 more damage. Okay, we're gonna block. I have to hope my opponent has all donuts in hand. Just probably not the case. What do we draw? Another... Well, I could... Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so... Copy Mind Spring, draw 1 card. Or is this going to be where I get pathed again? I have to be dead. They're thinking about something. I'm empty-handed. Go on, just kill. Yep. All right, what? Good games. Just get it over with. Just get it over with. Anyway, we were dead. We were dead no matter what we did. So I mean, they could just make a bunch of tokens. I mean, they played very patiently and very well. Now, grand scheme of things, what's this matchup like? I think it's still good for us. I think this matchup should still be pretty good. I completely wasted game one. I wasn't sure what we were up against. I thought it was a Boros deck, and they ended up being like super heavy on white, and I couldn't play around any of the cards, so I got beat by surprise value. And then in game two, played a little bit more greedy than I wanted to, but the hand wasn't playing out very well. We drew just an outrageous number of lands. We drew some nice cards later. But, I mean, maybe I can't complain too much. They were destroying my Ether Vials. How many Ether Vials did I draw? I drew 2 Ether Vials. We lands. We drew whatever. Opponent played well. Could go either way. Not going to say it's a cakewalk because they got a lot of good ETBs, so we still deserve to lose. All right, anyway, that was round 4, and let's get on to round 5. Here for round 5, we lost the die roll. Hand is very good on the draw, though, so we're going to keep. We have a 1 land file hand with something to do with 1 mana. Oh no. Oh no, no. Oh crap. It's Amulet. We could be dead before we even know it. Our hand is sort of nice, but it's going to be way too slow on the draw. Way too slow on the draw. And like, oh, that's just great. So basically I have a nut hand. Although, like, a lot of their hands are nut hands now. Almost everything's a nut hand. It's like, between Amulet and Urza Saga, I mean, they're guaranteed to have at least 1 and usually 2 amulets by turn 3. Three amulets! 3 of them! Explore. Are we gonna get turn 2'd? Because now this thing can add 6 mana. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna let all these can resolve perpetually. I think we're gonna get turn 2'd by Amulet. Feels like it. Which would happen no matter what version of Merfolk we were playing, more or less. Wow, nothing. Okay, that was good to know. They don't have Primeval Titan in hand yet. I mean, yeah. So like, what the hell's going on here? They put the Rot Farm back in hand. So what do? I think I do nothing. I think I just pass the turn. And like, if they play a Titan, I have to consign to memory it. Okay, what else do they have? They have that Garrison card. They have that Give Haste card in hand. Explore. I can't interact or counterspell that. If we get the 3 lands, we're probably going to be in good shape because then we can Tashana's Tidebinder the Primeval Titan and also tap it down with Flood Pit's Drowner. So that might be to our benefit. You don't have red mana, though, to give haste. Spelunking. Okay, spelunking away. More. Doesn't that shut off the amulets? Or is it a May? Draw a card. Okay, so now then I can't even put Primeval Titan in the graveyard anymore. Scape Shift. Can't remember what the consequence of this thing is. Okay, Scape Shift. Okay, so here's where I can consign something. I have to consign something here. I'm going to consign... Actually, how the hell is this going to work? So how are they triggering everything? So they're going to add like a bunch of mana. They have infinite mana. But I have to prevent... What's going on? I cannot auto-yield everything. So the deal is I got to prevent them from putting Teleria West back into their hand. I was in this situation once before where they go for this line. They're going to add a bazillion mana for Primeval Titan. So I have to just consign to memory the Simic Growth Chamber. And I guess we're going to be okay. For now. I guess I still have to deal with this next turn. Consign with Replicates. Just in case they have... I don't think they play with Pact of Negation anymore. Replicate for 1. What am I targeting here? Oh, did I cast with Replicate, target this thing? 1, okay. Okay, spend 2 mana. Same targets. Then they gotta, like, lose some lands. I guess they're gonna want to sack their own Lotus Petal, maybe? Get rid of this. Okay, so they get rid of that. Gotta keep the Teleria. That's their baby. So they still have that other Golgari Rot farm in hand, as we saw last time. Okay, I need a land for Tishana's Tidebinder. We have to prevent Rot farm from bouncing that Teleria West. But they don't have any blue mana now, so maybe it doesn't matter. We drew Mirror Regery. I'm going to activate. Put Silver Gillidaft in play. Land, please? Not land. Okay, if anything bad happens, we are Flood Pitsing. Oh, I don't know if Flood Pitting the Titan even does anything. Well, if we get the 3, if we live to next turn, it's probably GG. Oh, they got another one? They really had to get another one like that? I don't know if I come back from this. Come on, deck. Why couldn't you just give me a damn land here? Just Tishana's Tidebinder, that stupid thing. Yeah, we're gonna transmute. Actually, what are they gonna do with this mana? They only have 4 mana this turn. They do have to wait. Okay, maybe not everything is not for nothing. They transmute for Summoner's Pact. Just trying to think what to do with my mana, if I do anything at all. I think I need to leave. Just trying to think what to do with my mana here. Because I can Violent Regery. Okay, let's... I hope this is not too greedy. I hope this is not too greedy. I don't think it's too greedy. Oh, now I draw the land when it's actually just largely irrelevant. Okay, activate. Play Regery. Play probably Silver Gillidaft. What is this all about? Oh, they think I have, they think I had Harbinger of the Seas, which I don't. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good here. Maybe we can win this after all, especially since we can hoof our opponent for an enormous amount of damage next turn. That's nice. We had like this extra... Oh god, if they like Boseiju the Ether Vial, that would make things very complicated. Okay, They're not Bosejuing the Ether Vial. Not yet, at least. I didn't really. So you may put it in play. So draw a card. You can put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. If you lands you control enter untapped. Oh, so you don't have the option to have them come into play. So hold on, is it just like a timestamp thing? Put them onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Like, I don't get this card now. And 1 mana of any color. Why didn't you want to play the Golgari Rot Farm? Yes. Aftermath Analyst can be played from the graveyard. Sack this creature, return all lands. Thank God I got Stern Scolding here. This blue mana. Not to mention, I guess I could Tishana's Tidebinder that too. Didn't they have that? Oh, they got rid of the Echoing Deeps. You can have this land enter tapped as a copy of any card in the graveyard, except it's sorry. Is it as a no? Sorry, that's any land. Sorry, maybe we just didn't see that land that copies creatures in the graveyard. I can't even remember if they're even in Amulet Titan. We won game 1. You know what? I feel like we won the match. We were up against 4 amulets basically. We were up against 3 amulets by turn 2. And we live to tell the tale. You know, as far as I'm concerned, we just won that match. I don't even care if we lose the next 2 games. All right, Amulet Titan. We want Consign to Memory. It can in theory counter. It can counter Amulet, but also it counters the trigger to bounce Teleria West back to their hand, and that is a common line that they use to win. Force Negation to counter Amulet and Summoner's Pact. Harbinger of the Sea. Oh, and also Sweepers. They're going to bring in some Sweepers like Pyroclasm. Harbinger of the Seas, because it just wins the game by itself. And 1 Engineer Explosives. I could be wrong. This could be way higher. Like, this could be it's possible that this is a bigger card than I think it is, just to wipe out their amulets. Because if they don't have Amulet in play, like, the deck sort of sucks. It's not impossible to play, but it's really dirtily. Do you know what? I bring in 1. Okay, hold on. What are we taking out? We're taking out Mistcaller. We're taking out the Dismembers. Taking out Stern Scolding, even though it looked pretty good in that game. I want to bring in 1 more Engineered Explosives. How many 1-drops do we have post-board? We have just 7. I just want to experiment with this card. I have 32 creatures, but minus the glass pools I have a billion creatures. Let's take out 1 Silvergill Adept. We'll play 1 more Engineer Explosives and just see if Eon 1 has any influence in this game. And if nothing else, it still kills the construct tokens. I should have been experimenting with more EE in this deck post-board. But, like, so, I mean, I mean, by default, it's in the deck just for... By default, it's in the deck for Urza Saga, which they play, but they're usually not making that many constructs. What do we want to do with this hand? It's a hand with 2 vials, no blue mana for Consign to Memory, which means if we want this card to work, we need to hope to draw more lands, which is not what we want to do because I have too many mana sources. I'm going to mulligan. Hand was basically on 5 anyway. This hand doesn't do anything. Like, it literally does... It does nothing. It's weird because I have these force negations for the Ether, for Amulet. I mean, there's just too many cards for Amulet. Can I win at 5? I mean, yes. There's Harbinger of the Seas in the deck. Okay, there's a world where I keep this just because I don't want to. I really don't like going down to 5. We have a bunch of lands to curve out. You just hope to draw a bunch of gas, and especially against Amulet. There are games where you just force a negation their Amulet, and then you have like 5 turns to do whatever you want because they are just really, really slow to do anything from there. But we have Harbinger of the Seas in the deck, so we're gonna mulligan. This hand has Harbinger of the Sea, so we're going to keep it. Get rid of... we might need Consign to Memory. Okay, we'll do it this way. We'll just bolt ourselves on turn 1. Wasn't useful. Still bolt ourselves on turn 1. Alright, so we don't need to. You have an Otawara? I also have an Otawara. Look at that. What do you know? So hopefully we can slow this game down enough to get Harbinger in play and then maybe win from there. What a funny line, huh? Consign to memory the bounce land trigger. So this is a pretty decent thing to, I think, consign. Just to slow them down. Hopefully slow them down. No guarantee. Another Harbinger of the Seas. I like it, I like it. They do have a forest, though, so if they get a second forest, like, they can do stuff. Stuff can happen. Like, they can just hard cast cards like Primeval Titan. Actually, do they have Pyroclasm? I swear I've seen that card. Well, they do nothing. We'll play Flood Pits, play Harbinger of the Seas. They'll probably get dismembered. I'm gonna Boseiju my Cavernous Souls? What the hell is that all about? You have counter mat? Oh, you do have. You can have counter magic. You have Mystical Dispute or something. Okay. That's really weird, but sure. Oh, we drew EE. Now do I want to do it? I don't think I'm going to go for the Harbinger yet. Okay, pay 3 life, yes. I think we're going to play our EE on 1. And then we're going to just pop it, get rid of this Grazer and the Amulet. We're testing, we're play testing. I don't know why you would want to play Boseiju, because I think you still need all your lands. Right? Unless it's Mystical Dispute. So I don't want to just... I'm willing to throw this Harbinger of the Seas away into a Mystical Dispute, but just not yet. Oh, here's the Shifting Woodland. Okay, here's Spelunking. Okay, so if you tap out, that's okay with me. And that land cannot be tapped for, Huh? Oh, you had an extra land that turn. Okay, let's see if there's Mystical Dispute. Let's see if there was a Mystical Dispute. It was so important to get rid of with the Boseiju. There was! Fascinating. I will not pay for it. That's super, super high level or something. Alright, don't have Primeval Titan this turn. You can have Urza Saga. You can't have Primeval Titan. Alright, we can beat this stupid card. So we can play Harbinger of the Seas. Hopefully this doesn't get Mystical Disputed too. And then we play Glasspool Mimic. It's going to come into play untapped, and we Mind Spring. And Urza Saga can tap for blue, but it's not going to tap to make constructs. Okay, play Glasspool. Play Mind Spring. Buff up the team later. If they have Dismember, I'm in a lot of trouble. They just have everything. There's a handful of interaction versus our mulligan to 5. Oh, what is this? Counter target artifact, creature, or planeswalker spell. Its controller creates a 2/2 blue. Oh, what? Why didn't you counter this one? Well, they have to have Dismember. There's like no way that you play the way that you're playing like that. That's insane. So they're empty. Well, they just drew a card for the turn. They were empty-handed. There's no artifacts in play. You just drew Primeval Titan. That's just wonderful. Holy crap! Look at the interaction. Our opponent sideboarded into a frickin' control deck. There's a crazy amount of interaction. This is gonna you just concede. We're dead. I'm not gonna bother with this. No way. There's no way we're coming back. Okay. Anyway, I sort of liked engineered explosives. I mean, well, I don't know. It technically didn't do anything. Technically didn't do anything. Do I need more counter magic? They're bringing in Mystical Dispute and Strix Serenade. They don't even have that much blue mana in the deck. So what, Otawara? How much blue mana was in that deck? Oh, they have Simic Growth Chamber. Okay. Simic Growth Chamber, Otawara, some other stuff. What else do I do here? I don't think I should be playing around that stuff. I have Ether Vial and a bunch of Cavern Souls. I'm just going to run this back. I don't love this, but I gotta keep it. Put this to play tapped and pass. Another amulet. Another day, another amulet. Oh, we did draw a third land, so when the time comes... I mean, when we get to 3 lands, we can play Tashanda's Tidebinder on the Amulet of Vigor. That works out for us. I guess I'm going to play Hexcatcher somewhere. Like, if they play Spelunking, I'll counter that. Sure. Okay, so they're holding up interaction. It's fine. We'll play this. Guess they're just not willing to interact with that yet. Attack for 1. I'm not ready to tap out yet. And pass. Copy my Mutavault. Okay, I'll attempt to. They might have some counter magic here, but if they do, they do. I'll play Tashan's Tidebinder. Try to shut off this Amulet of Vigor. They're playing like they have interaction, but like I can't keep passing the turn back and forth doing nothing. But their problem is, if we have Harbinger of the Seas, they lose, I'm guessing. So they don't really want to counter this. But if they're not countering this, then we're just like ahead on the board. So you made a Mutavault, but it's not going to untap. Or you can attack for a good chunk of stuff. Amulet is shut off. So it's sort of a nice life we have going on over here. Attack for 4. Sorry, for 5. I think we're just going to play this very patiently at this point. How patient do I want to be? I could, well, damn. Actually, given that I just drew Silver Gill Adept, I could have played Reejery. Yeah, I should have done that. I could have played Reejery. I mean, I guess I still can. Oh, but I feel like they've got a counter spell. Okay, I feel like they've got a counter spell. I'm just not going to play into it. I'll play Reejery on the death turn, the turn where they're going to die. Another Otawara. How much power is this? It's a lot of power. Anyway, I'm going to play this. We're going to bolt. Play the Mind Spring Merfolk. Certainly hope our opponent doesn't have some sort of sweeper to blow me away. And pass. Sort of sucks to play that Soporific Springs. Because it's a pretty good chunk of interaction. If Amulet isn't online, then there's a lot of tapping out from their side. And you can, like, basically time walk them. Where's this cave? What is this? Search your library for a land card. Put on the battlefield tapped. Oh, get anything. I'll consign easily. Keep that crap out of here. And now, I think we're just going to activate our Mind Spring Merfolk. So we'll attack for stuff. They activate Mutavault block. We activate Mind Spring for probably just one. One's enough. If they don't activate, okay, they're not going to activate. Then I'm just not going to activate Mind Spring, and then maybe I can activate Mind Spring for the maximum later. Because I get to hold up Otawara here. And also potentially activate Mutavault with Hexcatcher. Oh, there's going to be a Dismember here. I have to Dismember this thing. I can sacrifice many cards to keep it alive. And it's like, it's winning if it lives. What else could I do? Or I just let it die. They play Primeval Titan. In response to the Primeval Titan, we Otawara the Amulet of Vigor. So they just get a bunch of lands, they come into play tap, but they don't do anything. And then I play Reejery and kill. Okay, let's just let that resolve. Okay, your Amulet is online. May you not kill me with it. It's pretty nervous. Bad things can happen. A lot of things could possibly happen here. Yeah. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, like, the thing is, I could sack my whole board. to protect the Tasha's Tiebinder, that's totally a line. But I'm not in love with it. Yeah, they're just going to go for prime time. I hope they're going for prime. They might be going for Scape Shift. Okay, they're going for prime time. We auto-war the Amulet, as was part of my plan. Prime time enters the battlefield. I have no idea what it does. If you can't put anything into play untapped, played your land for the turn. I play Reedry and attack through for victory. That's my plan. So everything went according to my plan. The most important thing in this match is we won game one, which was insane. It was completely insane. There was basically 3 amulets so early on in the game. It looked like a textbook turn to kill. They didn't have the win condition, and we came back out of it somehow. Oh no, what's going to happen out here? Explore? I can counter that. I can counter and explore. Okay, I didn't think about this. Interesting line. Another amulet. That's so weird. What is that? What does that even? Okay, hold on. Sorry, not another amulet. It's just amulet in general. What would that even do? Oh, so if they have a Boreal Grazer, I think the idea is play this, play a Boreal Grazer, and then maybe live after all of that. Or like the game continues. Okay, I'm going to counter this. Or it's bait. Maybe it's just bait. And I'm not supposed to counter this thing. Summoner's Pact for a Boreal Grazer. Oh no, this is not big enough! I thought this was just a 2-2. Okay, hold on. Can you actually pay for the pack next turn? I don't think you can. There's a green. What does this do? Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Oh, but you're going to be able to pay for it when you play a Boreal Grazer. Okay, that's fine. Okay, they get the Arboreal Grazer. It's going to put some random land in play, but you have to pay for it. Well, my plan was to attack with Reedry right here. So you can they can attack with the Primeval Titan. I can put them to 1. They can block Mutavault or Mindspring Merfolk. Too many blockers. So you're going. I'm just trying to think, like, what can they do next turn that would be just totally wild? This can get any land. This copy something from the graveyard. 2 land for a land thrown to the battlefield tapped. They have 1 card left in hand. I think I'm just gonna put them. I think I'm just gonna put them to 1. Because they have to chunk block Merfolk, Mindspring Merfolk or the Mutavault. I have 1 less blocker on the battlefield. Okay, so they're more or less going to use their turn to pay for the pact. They could attack with Primeval Titan, but that would be very dangerous. Alright, pass. No, the game's not over yet. They do have a Mutavault to block with, too. They have no green mana. We draw any Merfolk, that probably wins the game. It's a pretty tense game right now.